Taiwan presidential candidate says country is key for world security. Beijing breaks a 7-decade cold weather record. Japan-owned tanker attacked by drone fired from Iran in Indian Ocean. Biden says presidents can be subject to criminal prosecution. UK to send naval ship to Guyana amid Venezuela border dispute. Furnace explosion at Chinese-owned nickel plant in Indonesia kills 13. Iran summons Russian envoy over statement on disputed islands. Ukraine celebrates first Christmas on December 25th.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Tuesday, December 26th, and here are your top stories. Bloomberg reported that days after U.S. President Joe Biden signed a defense policy bill that included authorization for training Taiwan's military, top presidential candidate Lai Ching-te said Sunday, a peaceful Taiwan Strait is key to the world's prosperity and security. Bloomberg said Lai told reporters at a campaign rally in Taipei, where thousands of supporters gathered, "Peace depends on strength and not on the goodwill of the aggressor. We can have ideas about peace, but not illusions."
Bloomberg noted Lai's comments followed President Joe Biden's signing of the finalized bill for the 2024 National Defense Authorization Act on Friday, which included measures to help strengthen Taipei's defense capabilities and support its participation in international organizations. The media added next month Taiwan will hold presidential and legislative elections that will help shape U.S.-China relations for years to come. Taipei's relations with Beijing is one of the main issues.
China's capital Beijing has broken its record for hours of sub-zero temperatures in December, dating back to 1951, after a cold wave swept swathes of the country and brought blizzards in its wake, sending temperatures towards historic lows. According to state-backed Beijing Daily, as of Sunday, a weather observatory in Beijing had recorded more than 300 hours of below-freezing temperatures since December 11th, the most for the month since records began in 1951.
Northern and northeastern parts of the country have experienced a record-breaking chill since last week, with some areas in the northeast hitting -40 Celsius and below, as biting cold air flowed down from the Arctic. The capital has also endured 9 consecutive days of temperatures below -10 C in this period. Henan's weather authority said on Saturday temperatures in several areas in the province would plunge to a low of -15 C over the weekend.
The U.S. Department of Defense said a Japanese-owned commercial tanker was attacked by a drone launched from Iran in the Indian Ocean on Saturday, causing a fire but leaving no one injured. The Pentagon said in a statement the Liberia-flagged Netherlands-operated chemical tanker was struck about 370 kilometers off India by a one-way attack drone fired from Iran, adding the fire on board has been extinguished. The vessel is continuing its voyage towards its destination in India.
According to Nikkei Asia, citing the Pentagon statement, U.S. Naval Forces Central Command remains in communication with the tanker. The incident came amid a series of attacks on ships in the Red Sea since the start of the war between Israel and the Palestinian militant group Hamas, which began on October 7. Iran and allied militant in Yemen and Syria have conducted malicious attacks against commercial vessels in the Red Sea and waterways nearby, but no reports in the Indian Ocean before.
U.S. President Joe Biden said he can't think of one reason presidents should receive absolute immunity from prosecution, as Republican frontrunner Donald Trump has claimed. Biden made the comment in response to a reporter's question Saturday before departing the White House for Camp David, where he will spend Christmas. The Supreme Court on Friday declined to fast-track a decision on Trump's immunity case. Biden said Wednesday that Trump certainly supported an insurrection on January 6th.
The justice's decision hampered federal prosecutors' efforts to start Trump's trial on charges related to his attempts to overturn the 2020 election. The former president argues he was acting within his official duties during the lead-up to the January 6, 2021 riot, in which his supporters violently stormed the U.S. Capitol in an attempt to prevent lawmakers from certifying Biden's victory. The trial is scheduled to begin March 4, and special counsel Jack Smith sought to speed the matter to the nation's highest court in order to ensure the start date.
Britain's Ministry of Defense said on Sunday that the country will deploy a naval ship off Guyana later this month as the South American nation forces a border dispute with neighbor Venezuela over the oil-rich Essequibo region. A spokesperson for the Ministry of Defense said HMS Trent will visit regional ally and Commonwealth partner Guyana later this month as part of a series of engagements in the region during her Atlantic Patrol Task deployment.
The 160,000 square km Essequibo region is generally recognized as part of Guyana, but in recent years Venezuela has revived its claim to the territory and to offshore areas after major oil and gas discoveries. The deployment follows a visit by a British junior foreign minister to Guyana earlier this month, intended to offer the UK's support for the country, an ally and former British colony. Guyana and Venezuela agreed earlier this month to avoid any use of force and not to escalate tensions in the long-running dispute.
According to police and a company official, a blast in a Chinese-owned nickel plant on Indonesia's Sulawesi Island killed 13 workers and injured dozens on Sunday. Euronews said it was the latest of a series of deadly incidents at nickel smelting plants in Indonesia that are part of China's ambitious transnational development program known as the Belt and Road Initiative. Central Sulawesi police said at least 4 Chinese and 9 Indonesian workers died when the furnace exploded while they were repairing it.
Nickel is a key component in global battery production for electric vehicles. The accident occurred at PT Indonesia Tsingshan Stainless Steel, a subsidiary of PT Indonesia Morowali Industrial Park, known as Point IMIP, in the Bayadopi neighborhood of Morowali Regency. Nearly half of Point IMIP's shares are owned by a Chinese holding company, and the rest are owned by 2 Indonesian companies. It began smelter operations in 2013 and is now the largest nickel-based industrial area in Indonesia.
After Moscow and Arab countries released a joint statement earlier this week challenging Iran's claim to disputed islands in the Persian Gulf, Iran's official RNA news agency said the Russian envoy was summoned on Saturday and handed a note to deliver to Moscow. The note stated that Tehran disagrees with the statement the 6th Arab-Russian Cooperation Forum issued in Morocco that called for a peaceful solution to resolve the conflict between Iran and the United Arab Emirates over the islands.
IRNA said in a separate report that Iran's Foreign Minister Hossein Amirabdollahian told his Russian counterpart over the phone earlier on Saturday that respecting countries' sovereignty and integrity is among basic principles in the ties between nations. Iran took control of the 3 islands of Abu Musa, the Greater Tunbi and the Lesser Tunbi after British forces withdrew in 1971. The UAE also claims the 3 islands and has long pressed for a negotiated solution.
Many Ukrainian Orthodox Christians are celebrating Christmas on December 25th this year for the first time. Ukraine has traditionally used the Julian calendar, also used by Russia, where Christmas falls on January 7th. In a further shift from Russia, it is now marking Christmas according to the Western or Gregorian calendar, which it uses in everyday life. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky changed the law in July, saying it allowed Ukrainians to abandon the Russian heritage of celebrating Christmas in January.
In a Christmas message issued on Sunday evening, Zelensky said all Ukrainians were now together. He said, "We all celebrate Christmas together. On the same date, as one big family, as one nation, as one united country." The Orthodox Church of Ukraine, OCU, a newly created independent church that held its first service in 2019, has also changed its Christmas date to the 25th of December. It formally broke away from the Russian Orthodox Church over Moscow's annexation of Crimea in 2014 and its support for separatists in eastern Ukraine.
The answer for yesterday was A, reverberate. The controversy surrounding the takeover yesterday continued to reverberate around the television industry. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into the news of Ukraine celebrates first Christmas on December 25th. Number 1, shift. 情况政策的转变，更替变动. Public attitudes towards marriage have shifted over the past 50 years. Number 2, heritage. 遗产，有指国家或社会长期形成的历史传统和特色. The building is part of our national heritage. Number 3, annexation. 并吞. The treaty outlined the terms and conditions for the annexation of the bordering territories. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I'll see you next time.